the Hollywood house parties in Sunset Hills. These niggas used to take shit that they would put on their lips, and then they would ask a girl if they could get a sip of her drink, and they would put the agent, they would rub it on the rim, and then when the girl would continue to drink her drink, she would inject it, and the next thing you know, the bitch is numb and dead, and they got her in the tub, screw it in.
They want me to tell the total story. Okay, I'll finish it. So then what happens is they presented a bad contract, and you like, I'm not signing this shit. And they like, oh, you don't want to sign it?
And then they bring out the videotape.
Pop in the tape. Let me show you what this nigga did last night. And you like, oh, shit, I'm gonna sign this right now. I don't want nobody to see that. Bow wow. Okay, move right along.
Oh,
move right along.
You made my husband walk away. I don't even know what to say.
Shout out to Snoop for handling that for Bow, but they should have got.
Oh my God! You just turned. I don't even know if I'm old enough for this conversation anymore. I just became like a whole 3-year-old. I emotionally regress from what you just said.
Jaguar Wright is stepping forward to share her truth with confidence and clarity. Often seen as the bold voice of R&B, she carries the same fearless energy that Cat Williams brings to comedy, ready to break through the noise and speak from the heart. She's not here for drama. She's here to be real, raw, and unapologetically herself.
That's the beautiful thing about being the kind of honest I am. Because what I'm saying is true, because what I'm saying is backed up on honest to God, complete integrity, I can say something like that. Let everybody be mad about it and step the away. And let's see what reality say. It ain't my fault I be ahead of the curve. It really ain't my fault. I'm just operating in my principle. And then I heard about some of the troubles that came to your door. But if I'm correct, I want to say this while we on camera. When we finished the interview that day, didn't I give y'all some warnings about things that might happen?
Yeah.
Because of this interview.
Yeah.
Was I wrong?
No.
Oh, but was I right?
Yeah. Some of the things, the Tevin Campbell thing was interesting to me because we just hadn't heard from him, and he just kind of popped out of nowhere.
Jaguar Wright is now making bold and eye-opening statements about Jay-Z and his longtime connection to Diddy, suggesting their bond goes far deeper than music. According to her, several artists in the industry have faced troubling experiences behind the scenes, and she believes powerful figures like Diddy and Jay-Z play a major role in creating those dark realities. She claims it's all part of a deeper pattern where power and control overshadow genuine artistry, painting a picture of an industry built more on secrets than sound.
I don't need to go nowhere when he's trying to knock me out, screw me in the ass in a tub, like I'm a dead person.
But wait a minute, I know why Hollywood.
You just talking about this. I gotta light up my CBD.
Look, light up your CBD, but let me get this in. I know why Hollywood is so invested with the anal cavity. But I want to throw something at you. You tell me if this is true, right? It happens at a lot of parties. You're thinking about signing. I'm talking about the dudes, right? You go to this party. Let's say it's Cash Money, okay? You go to this party. You get knocked out. Train ran on you in your ass. It's videotaped. You wake up. They say you gonna sign.
They get you. That's how they get them to put the dresses on.
Thank you. I knew
Hollywood is black male central.
And they all doing each other in the. It's.
Well, I mean, you got to think about it. Anybody has a vagina, but it's dominion. It's that final frontier.
They didn't all been in each other's, so they literally are all.
If that is true, wait a minute. If that is true, there's only one man to blame for it.
Chris Stokes. Sorry.
You said Chris Strokes, and you right. You know what still trips me out? That if you go back to the MTV Chris episode that they did with Chris,
right,
and Marcus was there, because Marcus was living there, because he was Marcus's guardian. You remember that crib?
Yep.
It was an amazing apartment, but they only had one bedroom.
Yeah.
And they allowed that film to hit the television.
Like we were dumb.
What you got, two grown ass men, a young man and an older man, living in a 1-bedroom apartment for where the f did Marcus sleep in the tub? They can't even sleep in the bed, they gotta sleep on the couch. That's how comfortable that was. He didn't even bother to rent a 2-bedroom. So nobody would have suspicion.
Because that was his name.
I'm just saying, why would you live in a 1-bedroom apartment with the boy you a guardian of? Who's your artist? Who's making thousands of dollars a show but don't got his own bedroom?
Jaguar Wright continues to speak out about the dark side of the music industry, claiming that powerful figures like Diddy have built a toxic environment designed to control rather than create. She says the relationships between top executives and artists are not just professional but deeply manipulative, recalling her own visit to a studio. Jaguar says she witnessed disturbing behavior firsthand and warns that this is just the surface of a much deeper issue. She believes talented artists are overlooked in favor of those willing to meet twisted demands behind closed doors. According to her, the road to fame often comes at the cost of dignity. She further alleges that Diddy's influence was carefully protected and expanded with help from industry giants like Jay-Z and Clive Davis, who she claims used him to recruit fresh talent for questionable purposes. Jaguar describes Diddy's rise as one built on fear, intimidation, and strategic alliances, comparing it to mafia-style control. She even shared a disturbing memory involving Diddy and Christopher Williams, suggesting inappropriate exchanges tied to career opportunities. Jaguar also raised alarms about mysterious deaths at Uptown Records, hinting that these tragedies may be linked to efforts to silence those trying to tell the truth about Diddy's past.
I was thinking to myself the other day, Uptown Records started with 5 people. Andre Harrell, I'll Be Sure, Heavy D, and Puffy. And Kim was the longest working employee because she was there from the very beginning. She was Andre's personal assistant. Kim is dead. Heavy D is dead. Andre Harrell is dead. The only 2 left are Puffy and Al almost died. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Heavy D was found dead, face down in the heart attack. Andre Harrell, heart attack. Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. And then right after that, Al had a meeting, and I was gonna meet up with him because we were in Vegas, and then the next thing you know, you wanna know what they all had in common though? The survivors and the late of Uptown Records, they were all writing tell-all books. Andre was writing a book right before he died. Heavy D was working on a book before he died. Kim Porter was working on a book before she died. And Al B. Sure was working on the documentary of his life. And then he goes into a coma. Has Puffy ever been in a coma? Has anything happened to him? He must be the luckiest mother, because it seems like everybody that worked at Uptown Records from the very beginning, gone. Just him. I guess Al disappointed you. You know, I speak for a reason. When you see this bullshit ass motherfucking game with people that you love, that you like, you know, there's too many coincidences.
Too many. You
Honeycomb.
Oh. Stamp it.
We gonna get you and your little dog too. And congratulations, young Miami. Run as fast as Cassie did.
So where is Jaguar Wright getting all this information, Gene Deal? Another former insider has stepped up to confirm much of what Jaguar is saying. According to Jen, Diddy has played a central role in organizing exclusive parties in Hollywood that go far beyond the usual social scene. These aren't just glamorous events with music and drinks. They're secretive gatherings where power and influence are exchanged behind closed doors. Gene claims Diddy doesn't just attend these events, he curates them, handpicking guests and creating an atmosphere that feels intimate and controlled, adding weight to Jaguar's claims and raising more questions about what really goes on in the upper circles of the entertainment industry.
We was in Atlanta, and this story starts when I'm with Puff, and he's in exotic bookstores, and he's doing shopping, right? He's shopping, getting his stuff and everything like that. So, you know, this is the first time I was ever in an exotic bookstore with Puff. So, you know, I'm giving him his space. He's taking things off the shelves and stuff like that, because they gave him a brown paper bag. When they gave him a brown paper bag, he was just putting stuff in there. So I said, damn, you know, he got to go put it on the counter and, you know, show everybody what he's getting. So as he's going, I'm just looking at the places where he's picking stuff from. So there's one part he picked up some things from up here on my left side. And then he picked like quite a few of them down. I was like, okay. He put them in the bag. So when I went by there and I looked up there and it said plugs. And I was like, hey, yo. I was messing with him. Because people don't understand, you know, we was like friends. He was a part of the same gang. So I'm still gonna tease him. I'm still gonna mess with him and everything like that. I could do that. It wasn't just no security thing. So I say, yo, what are you getting this for? And it said plugs, and he was like, yo, can I do my shopping by myself? I said, yeah, you could do it by yourself, brother. And he started walking and everything like that. When he got to, I just waited at the counter. When he got to the counter, he didn't even have to show the guy nothing. He just gave the guy a wad of money. I mean, like, he gave the guy a stack, something like this. And Puff wasn't the dude that carried no 20s and no 50s and nothing like that. And I mean, like, he just said, boom. And we walked out the store.
While Gene Deal hasn't directly named Jay-Z, her words strongly hint at his involvement, given his long-standing business ties with Diddy. Gene suggested that the funding and support behind these secret gatherings don't just come from one source, but from a circle of powerful allies. She painted these elite Hollywood parties as exclusive playgrounds where the ultra-rich pay top dollar to explore their most extreme desires behind a veil of privacy. According to Gene, these aren't casual get-togethers. They're carefully orchestrated events, often held in discreet locations like Turkish baths, which she described as hubs for covered encounters. She implied that Diddy plays a key role in organizing these meetings and hinted that Jay-Z could be part of this hidden network, making the picture she draws even more unsettling.
I knew I used to wait outside of Turkish baths for him. You know what they do in the Turkish baths?
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't? Okay. That's where a lot of gay men meet. And they all take hot baths together. To each his own though, bruh. But that's a lot of that these guys get into when they start having certain meetings with certain people, and they meet them at the Turkish bath, and they do their meetings and they meet their people in those type of situations where they're comfortable at. So they don't have to worry about their indiscretions coming out. You mean? You understand what I'm saying? So that's why, you know, twice, sometimes 3 times a week, me and the driver be outside. He'll run into the Turkish bath.
Not to mention, Gene Deal also backed one of the most disturbing claims that scene comms allegedly forced Cassie Ventura into intimate situations with other men while he watched a pattern of sexual abuse that, according to both Jen and Jaguar Wright, went far beyond emotional control. Jaguar has already brought forward what she says are receipts backing these claims, making it harder for the public to dismiss them as just speculation. Together, their testimonies are painting a chilling and consistent picture of long-term exploitation wrapped in fame and power.
Should be laughing about that, man, because she is a victim. You know what I'm saying? She is a victim, man, and if this is her victim story, we gotta be more, I think more compassionate. She was 17 years old at the time. She was fascinated by that whole thing, getting on a G4, G5 jet, you understand? And what was her parents, man? What was her daddy, her mama? They didn't miss their child? She didn't come home that night? But what you trying to do? So to say that what he's being known for with Cassie, I can only equate to some of the things that I've seen him and Kim go through. You understand what I'm saying? So people get mad, but it is what it is. I can only equate his actions like that.
And then there's the deeply unsettling conversation around Kim Porter's death, a tragedy that shocked many in 2023, especially given her close connection to Sean Diddy, Combs, the father of her 3 children. While the official cause of death left questions, lingering whispers in the industry grew louder with time. Some, including Jaguar Wright, have gone as far as suggesting that Jay-Z may have played a role in helping arrange the circumstances around it. Though nothing has been proven, this theory adds another layer of suspicion to the already complex web of power secrets and control surrounding Diddy and his circle. And while the details remain heavily debated, one thing is clear: the public isn't done asking questions.
I will advocate for you. Because, see, I know something that a lot of people don't know. I know that you and Kim Porter had a sit down right before she left us.
Tell him, please, tell him.
And I know Kim had some very good advice to give you. And I believe that this is why things are happening as they're happening now. Kim was smart, wasn't she, Cassie? Kept you alive and kept you safe. I will advocate for you, but you are a victim. And I know that. Congratulations on surviving and congratulations on standing up. I'll advocate for you. F that pussy and his little dog.
Now you want to know what's crazy, Jaguar?
What?
I can just say it now because I'm not gonna do it. So why not just talk about it now? I had an offer to go over there to Revolt.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yep, I had an offer. They've been watching, and I was told that, hey, I can have you in a room with Puff tomorrow. And that just sounded crazy to me. That just like you can have me in a room with him tomorrow. Like what? Excuse me.
Like it's the grandest honor on earth.
About the with Kim. They say, yo, Gene, did you see him beat Kim? I said, on that particular case, no. Have I seen him rough Kim up and use the pillow? He liked to play fight and be hurting the girls while he play fight. Have I seen him do that? Yeah, I've seen him done that. You understand? And I've asked Kim, you all right, you good? Y'all good? And she just look and stuff, he'll stop. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like a big uncle one time. So now, when he get to the hospital, his right wrist is ripped open. So, Mr. Dill, when you got to the hospital, what happened? Well, I seen his wrist ripped up. I would testify that I seen his wrist wrapped up in a t-shirt, and he said it right there in front of Kim, you know what I'm saying, that, yo, you could have killed him because she hit an artery. You understand? And I would tell how I saw how Kim looked, and I would testify to everything if I was told to. You know, if I was brought in to testify against that. You understand? I'm not gonna sit there and wait in jail for him. Nah, I wouldn't do that.
So you don't have no problem testifying?
I have no problem sitting in the court of law, doing my due diligence and testifying on stuff that I already spoke of on the internet. When I talked about him, Kim, and she had to cut his wrist to get him off of him, I would tell what I saw when I went to the hospital. I have no problem. I don't care what nobody say, I don't care what nobody think. If I've already said it on the internet, if I've already said it on different platforms and programs, why wouldn't I?
Given all of that, Jane Dale claims the lawsuits and explosive accusations that made headlines were heavily edited and manipulated before reaching the public. According to her, Diddy has somehow managed to avoid being seriously questioned about the most disturbing parts of these allegations. Jane believes key details were deliberately removed or reshaped to control the narrative and protect certain individuals. She pointed out that what we've seen is only a small slice of the full story, carefully trimmed to make some people look a certain way while hiding the full truth. And as she put it, Cassie likely witnessed far more than anyone will ever know, but chose silence out of fear or survival. And that says more than words ever could. That's it for now. Let us know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to hit the bell for more deep dives.